Next, we're going to talk about persuasive message considerations. Today, when we look at persuasive message considerations, what I'd like you to think about is the purpose. I just really would like you to be clear with this. For example, are you trying to make a sale, trying to schedule a sales call, or simply establishing interest in your product? So it's really important when you're writing a persuasive message that you make your purpose clear. Also, credibility. We've talked about credibility in presentations. In terms of in your writing, credibility is essential in persuading. What helps you establish credibility? Well, just like in presentations, a lot of it comes down to the evidence that you have to support your claim, and then also having a document that is error-free, right, and professional in nature. So these are different ways that we establish credibility in our writing. Organizational plan. We talked about these two organizational plans when we talked about business presentations. The first is a direct plan, and once again, that's where you present your major recommendation first. You're very direct and to the point, followed by supporting evidence. The direct plan would be used when your audience is with you from the start. You know you don't have a lot of opposition. An indirect plan is where you present your reasons or your evidence first, followed by your recommendation. This would be used with an audience that is either not known, their opinion is split, or they are opposed. Evidence is essential in persuading, so you want to support your argument through the use of statistics, expert testimonies, factual illustrations or specific instances. The difference here is a factual illustration is more of a story, like a paragraph long. Specific instances would be just a very specific example that is factual, that is maybe 1 or 2 sentences long. Requesting a favor. We've talked about routine requests, such as asking for a letter of recommendation. But for requesting a favor, this differs from a routine request in that routine requests are almost always granted, whereas favors require persuasion. They're also often requested because a reader is an expert on a topic, and they offset the obstacle with the benefits. So there's a pretty good chance that the person reading this request would deny it. For instance, there's an example posted in eClass, but for instance, you're asking someone to fly across the country and present their ideas at a conference, yet you're not able to pay them. However, they're able to share their opinion with many, many people in their field of business. And so you offer them that opportunity to express their views to many, many influential people in their field, but you can't pay for their trip. So there's a very good chance they may not be able to attend then, or they may say no, just because of that major obstacle. Next, we're going to get into writing a sales letter. This is one of the types of letters that I've asked you to write for this class. You just need to decide, are you going to write it for large-scale sales or individual sales? For large-scale sales, these would be letters that go out to mass numbers of people that may be addressed something like, Dear Student, or Dear Homeowner. All right. Individual sales would be addressed to a specific person, and you've really tailored the letter to that person. So you need to decide which audience you're going to direct your letters to. Indirect organizational plan is what you often see with a sales letter, because many times you don't know all of the people that are receiving the letter, and you don't know what their stance is. And so to play it safe, the indirect organizational plan is the way to go. If you used the direct plan, they may tune you out immediately and not read any further, especially if you start out in the first sentence with your recommendation. So it's important to take the indirect organizational plan when your audience is not known. Once again, because not everybody will be in favor. It's also called AIDA, and that stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. And we're going to get to these 4 parts in a moment. So also in your letters, you'll have what's called a central selling theme. This is just what you would consider to be the most compelling benefit to owning your product, or it could be the most compelling benefit to the service that you offer. For instance, your central selling theme could be something like makes you feel energized. The central selling theme then you'll bring up early in the letter and you'll repeat it throughout the letter. So it's kind of like pounding that central selling theme into your reader's mind. Typically, price is not a central selling theme, but it could be. All right, so it could be that something's versatile. It could be that it's efficient, and so forth. So you need to think about your central selling theme. Now, getting into the format of the letter, back to the AIDA format, we gain the reader's attention through the use of, well, these are a variety of things. You could use a rhetorical question. An example is, do you want to look good and feel great? Well, this could be for a variety of products. This could be for a health food store. This could be for a gym. Okay, this could be for a book on health and feeling good and exercising. So it could be for a number of things. Unusual fact or startling statistic: if your family is typical, you will wash 1 ton of laundry this year. Obvious product for this would be a wash machine or detergent. Current event: the new assembly plant will bring 2,000 new families to the area within 3 years. Once again, could be for a variety of things. I was thinking probably a development of homes. All right, get your house now, because they're going to go fast. All right, when all of these families move into the area. So those are ways to begin your letter. You choose one. Then create interest and build desire. This happens throughout the body of the letter, typically in several paragraphs. In this section, you should be introducing your product and stressing the name. I would say make the name stand out by the use of italic print or colored print. Describe the product and its features and what makes it stand out from similar products on the market. If you have a glass cleaner, what makes it stand out from other glass cleaners? And point out how the features will benefit the reader. Actually put the person in the place of using the product. All right, explain how it works. All right, how simple is it to use? All right, so go through those steps. And also, what I really would encourage you to do is incorporate a testimony from a satisfied customer. All right, satisfied alarm owner Sarah Johnson stated, "We have had 2 instances where burglars have tried to break into our house in the past year. With the SafeScan alarm system, you can rest assured knowing your home and family are safe." So incorporate a testimony. For your letters, for your sales letters, they should be 1 full page. And if it's somewhat sparse, meaning you have a lot of room at the bottom, I'll probably look back at your evidence and say, wow, where could they have made this stronger? So I'm looking at things like you having a testimony and so forth. Use objective language. Saying a product is great is not enough. Provide evidence to show why or how it is great. So instead of stating at $895 the Maytag Atlantis washer is the best buy on the market, how you could be more specific: the March 2013 Independent Consumer rated the $895 Maytag Atlantis washer the year's best buy. All right. Motivate action. Typically, you'll avoid making this request until the end of the letter. And here's where you'd mention the price, unless price was your central selling theme. But here's where you would bring up the price, and typically price is stated in a longer sentence that also mentions reader benefit. Here's an example. You'll consider the $980 cost of the LG washer well worth the money when you're able to wash your large loads of laundry in half the time of most washers. Even your bed comforter will fit in the LG washer. You'll not only save time, you'll save a trip to the laundromat too. Okay, make purchasing easy. Typically you'll provide a number where they can order, a toll-free number. You might mention or make reference to an enclosed order form. also a website address that they can order from, and that point out that you accept major credit cards. And use confident language. Avoid the kind ofs and I guess and I hope you take advantage of this offer, and instead just assume that they will take advantage of this offer. To have your new Four Winds boat available for use during the summer, simply call our toll-free number. Provide incentive for prompt action through use of a postscript. If you stop by for a demonstration before May 1st, you'll walk out with a free pass to the California Adventure theme park. Of course, you need to think about who your target audience is and what would be an incentive to that target audience. The postscript, research has shown, is the part of the letter that is read the most often. So do consider a postscript if you have room at the bottom of your letter. All right, next we're going to look at bad news messages. He looked like he just received quite a bit of bad news. Writing a bad news announcement. Once again, there's an example in E-Class for you. There's also an example of the sales letter in E-Class. The bad news announcement may be internal, so within the company, or external. It begins with a buffer to soften the blow. So you don't come right out and state, this is the bad news. All right, you're going to start out with a compliment, agreement, or some sort of good news. Here's one example. Thanks to you, President Adams will announce a 15% increase in sales for the year. 6 of the 7 departments met or exceeded sales quotas. Great job. All right, and then you present figures and evidence to support the reasons, and you imply the fairness associated with the bad news. So here's one example. Our excitement, so the second paragraph in this letter, this bad news announcement, could be our excitement at the 13% increase in sales is somewhat tempered by the corresponding increase in expenditures. Providing medical insurance is obviously important to our company and to you, as 91% of you used your medical coverage last year. However, only 7% of our employees used their dental coverage, yet dental coverage represented 20% of our total insurance costs. We believe the funds now being used for dental care for a small number of our employees can better be used to pay the escalating costs of medical insurance. Thus, effective January 1st, all company-paid insurance programs will only include major medical coverage. Now, as I look at that, I, for one, use my dental insurance, so I would be somewhat disappointed with this bad news announcement. But when I looked at the figures, 91% use their medical insurance, only 7% use their dental, yet dental represented 20% of the total insurance costs. When I look at that, I would understand, even though it's bad news, I would understand why they would want to do away with it. Then you end by discussing a different but related topic. Try to end on a positive note. Here's one example. The Human Resource Office is holding an open forum next Monday from 3 to 4 in the Learning Center to discuss pension, vacation time, stock option plan, and retirement plan. We hope you will join us. This is a very well-written bad news announcement because it makes sense, it's reasonable, and it ends on this positive note where they're going to talk to you about other benefits they do offer. So it is well written. Next, we're going to talk about the refusal of a favor. Remember, with routine requests, they're almost always granted, but requests for favors oftentimes are not granted because of the obstacle. So the refusal of a favor then begins almost immediately with the refusal. It's a direct approach because this letter is just short and to the point. It's really no surprise to the reader that they're being denied their request because there was some major obstacle. Then here you'll go on to provide additional details or reasons, such as going back to the example I gave you earlier on the request for a favor. You might state, I am unable to fund a trip, across the nation, but I thank you for considering me as one of your speakers. So it's pretty straightforward and to the point. And then you close on that helpful or positive note. Lastly, we're going to look at the refusal of a claim. The claim letters that you're writing for me, The adjustment, the claim letter and the adjustment letter go hand in hand. The adjustment letter answers the claim and will grant the claim, but there are cases when the claim obviously is not granted. And that's this format. So that's writing the refusal of a claim. So you open on an agreeable note, and then you begin with an explanation, then the refusal. So it is more of an indirect plan, mainly because the individual is emotionally involved. Presenting the refusal later allows the dissatisfied customer at least to hear the reasons first. Then the refusal is less of a shock. All right, they still may be upset, but at least they give it a chance, they read on. Rather than using a direct approach stating we're not going to grant you this, they may not take the time to read on and hear the reasons why they were denied. It closes on a helpful or positive note then. All right, and so those are the persuasive and bad news messages that you will want to be familiar with. And you'll not only be writing a sales letter for me as part of your letter assignment in class, but when you get out in the business world, I guarantee you'll be writing these different types of letters. So thank you so much.